Hi, I'm Debbie Chronister. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I am here today to show you this really cute card. Now, Lisa Cursico did this on a YouTube Live on Monday, and see how I could modify it. And how I'm doing today is just gonna play with this. And it's got lots of pieces. I will put all of these measurements on my blog. I used the Peaceful Cabin stamp set in this one. And so in the one that I'm doing now, we're gonna build it. We're gonna do a build a card. So I am just gonna see how this goes. And I am using, oh gosh, one of our papers from our annual catalog. Let me grab the name of it. It is Beauty of the Earth. I had it and I knew that as soon as we started this, I would forget it, but it's called Beauty of the Earth. And so this has this gorgeous piece in here that I want to try using in there and see how it works for us. So I'm going to start out with a 5.5, and like I said, all these measurements will be on my blog at Stamp with Deb. So it's 5.5 by 8.5, and I'm going to score at 2 1/8, which is right there. Let's get my scoring blade, and 4 1/4, which gives us just like a normal card. The 4 1/4 does. And then this is a Z-fold on this part. So we've got that down. Let me find my bone folder here, which I have currently lost. There it is. Got it. Okay, so then I'm just going to crease this really good with my bone folder. I want some really sharp edges so that it folds beautifully, because we're going to cut through several layers of it. Okay, then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this piece of Designer Series paper at 5 1/4. So let's see where that puts us. At 5 1/4 is right there. I think I want to go a little bit lower. I'm going to go to 5 1/2, and then I'm going to trim off part of this down here. And just trim that so it's at 5 1/4. And then I need one that's 4 inches. Okay, I'm going to cut that at 4. And then I'm going to cut this one at 1 7/8. I'm going to cut 2 of them at 1 7/8. Not sure if I want 2 of them at 1 7/8. I think I only want 1 of them at 1 7/8 for where this paper is going. So I have this one is going to go in here, and this one is going to go over here. And then for the front, you know what? I think I do. I think I want 2 of them at 1 7/8. So let's cut that one too. Since I'm building this as I go along, we may change our mind as we get down the road here. So all 3 of those will go on there like that. Okay, now I'm going to cut a piece of this. Let's see, I have a piece I've already cut at 3 by 3, I think. Where'd I put it? Right here. I have a 3 by 3 that I've cut, and a 2 3/4 in white, 2 3/4 square. So that's going to go on my front. Then I'm going to need 2 of these at 1 3/4 by 1 3/4. And I'm a layer girl. I like lots of layers. So I am going to cut the front one so that we have an extra layer. So I've already cut that at 1 7/8, so I'm going to cut this at 2 inches first of all by 5 3/8. So that's going to go on my front because I'm going to add some extra layers to the other parts on my front. I'm not going to do that on the inside because I don't want any more thickness added to it because of what we're going to do. Okay, and then this is going to be cut at, let's see, I cut these at 1 7/8, 1 3/4, 1 3/4. So 1 5/8, I need 2 at 1 5/8. Right there. Okay. So that's just 1/8 of an inch, not even 1/8 of an inch. Smaller. Okay, I need another one. Let's do this one at 1 5/8. That's a half, that's 5/8 right there. And 1 5/8 here. Okay, now I am going to cut this brown. I want to bring in some other colors because I have brown and blue in here. So I'm going to cut this at 1 1/2. It's going to be interesting because it's going to be a triangle shape. So it's okay. We're going to go 1 1/2 on this. Okay, so I'm going to add that to that layer, and this one to this layer. Whoops, yep, onto there. Okay, so getting all these papers cut is the challenge. Okay, I know what I'm doing there. I know what I'm doing there. I think that's it. No, I have one more triangle to cut for the inside. Well, actually, it's a rectangle with a triangle. Okay, so I'm going to cut this at 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. Is that big enough? Just big enough. Perfect. Okay. Wow, that is just, look at that, just a hair cut off. Okay, then I'm going to cut this, a piece of white, at 3 5/8 square. 3 5/8. Whoops. Just like that. And then I'm going to cut a piece of designer series paper, and I'm going to use the brown again for that one. I'm going to go 3 1/2 by 3 1/2. Ton of paper, but not, I mean a ton of layers, but not really a ton of paper because I'm just using a lot of little pieces. Okay, let's see how it comes out. Here comes the big question, huh? Now we're going to put it together. Oh, I have one more thing to do that I'll need my paper trimmer for, but that's okay. We'll just set those there. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is attach my designer series paper to the inside. Let me grab my silicone mat here. And I am using Stamp and Seal for this. You could also use a liquid glue, a liquid adhesive. The only thing I recommend is I don't recommend putting another piece of cardstock on the inside. I really would love to have put a piece of cardstock in here, but I would not recommend that just because it will be so thick. And once you see what I do, you'll know why. Okay, so I am going to take my paper trimmer and bring it back up. I'm going to fold my card in half, and I'm going to put the folded edge at the top, and I'm going to go at 1.5. I'm going to find my, let me grab a Sharpie here. I'm going to find my 3/4 inch mark on my trimmer, which is right here. Okay. And I am going to cut with my folded side at the top, and I'm lifting my blade to get there. And I'm going to position this at the 3/4 inch mark, and I'm going to press down really hard. I want to cut through all those layers, and I'm just going to go back and forth a couple times. And you can feel when to stop. And let's see how we did. It cut all the way through, which is what I wanted. Okay, now I'm going to put it at the 4-inch line over here, and I'm going to do the same thing again. And just start at the 3/4 inch mark. Just like that. And I'm just going to go through and back and forth a couple of times. Just don't pull harder this direction because you'll make your cut larger, and you don't want to do that. So, see if I cut through. I did cut through on both sides. Okay, let's get this out of the way now. Okay, oh no, we're not going to do that. We're going to keep that up here. I'm not done with that thing yet. Okay, so now we're going to move the cutting blade out of the way, and we're going to go to the scoring. And in here, you can see right through the cutting, through this plastic guide. And you can see where your lines are. My favorite way to do this is to just take my Take Your Pick tool with the rounded tip on it, the scoring point, and just to go between those two lines. That is the easiest way. You can press down. If you use your trimmer, your scoring blade, it doesn't have the pressure. It'll make the line, but you'll barely see it. And so it just doesn't really score super well for this situation. I'm going to move it over, and I'm going to do the same thing on this end. I'm just going to score right along there, and I'm pressing really pretty hard. I don't want to press through my paper, but I do want to give it a good firm fold. Okay, now this is where the fun part comes in on your card. We are not going to fold the whole card. We just want to fold this section here. So I am going to fold that in. Just work with it. Fold it in. You want it to come in, okay? But you want the rest of your card to go out. So I'm just going to press that down and press this down really good. And then I'm going to come in here with my bone folder. And I am going to just really apply some pressure here. I want this to be nice and firm, and I want it to lay nice and flat as I can get it. Okay, and there we are. Okay. I don't think you can do one side at a time. Maybe if you slide it inside. But it's pretty tight. But you want to attach your DSP before you do that part. Okay, now let's go and create our front. So on my front, where did I put my papers I cut for my front? Right here. So on the front, I have my design here, and picked up 2 pieces there. Oops, let me grab my silicone mat. For some reason, this adhesive works better when I have my mat under it, and I'm not sure why, but it just does. See? There it goes. I'm not kidding. It must be something about pressure or something about the softness of the mat. I'm not sure what it is, but it works. And I love my silicone mat. It's so easy to clean. Okay. And then I'm just going to attach, go this way, and I think this time I'm going to put my ribbon around this. so I'm just going to go ahead and attach a piece of ribbon. And I want it over to the right because everything else is, whoops, it's sticking to me, so I can't use my fingers. So I'm just going to bring it around here like that and onto the back. And then trim it off, and I'll tie a bow and attach it to the front. Although, do I want that on there? Okay, we'll let it go for now. I'm going to flatten this out and attach it. Okay, there we go. Okay, now let's start putting this together. So this is my smaller one. Where's my big one? There. Okay. So I'm going to layer these together first using my DSP on the top. Layer. It's kind of crooked. And then attaching it to my Mary Merlot. And same thing here. Can't hold on to my paper and the glue is getting my hands in the way. Okay. See a little glue down here I want to clean off. There we go. Okay. Now, when you attach these, you only want to put adhesive on one side. I am going to use some green glue. And I'm going to go on, from here to here is where I don't want to go. I'm just going to go over here to this corner. Okay, I don't want to get too close. If you do and you end up going over, use I'm lining this up. Use a, what are they called? I just used one this morning. It's the little powder bag. We no longer sell those at Stampin' Up, but you can find them online. So that will help to clean off any glue that might get right in here. Okay, it would make it not sticky. It won't make it disappear. It just will make it so it doesn't stick. Okay, and here I'm going to go. Do the same thing down here. So this card isn't hard to do. It's really a cool card because it's a pop-up card, and we all like pop-up cards, right? And everybody's impressed when we give them a pop-up card. Okay, so then I have this one. And oh, here's my paper. Okay, so I have these 3 pieces that I cut for the inside. Now, I'm going to glue them together when I get ready. But for right now, I need to cut them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them in my cutting edge here. So guys, a tip. I have a tip for you. Looking for my, let me grab the other one. I have several of these. Oops, oh, that one's got the other point too. So here, I'm going to change out the end on this. And just a tip on these cutters, it's good to keep this area in here clean. And you see what that does? My spatula on my take your pick tool cleans that out so nicely. Just gets all that gook in there out. And if you turn it over and do it, it works even better. So, but it worked really good there. Okay, so that's where I'm going to put my paper, is so that it's, this tip is here, that tip is there, and I'm just going to trim, cut. Now I have enough for 2. And that's the way it'll be for all 3 of these. Same thing here. And these are cut just a little bit each one is just a little bit larger. And so they'll make a nice little triangle there. So that we'll put it in the center of our card. You can see I can't talk and work at the same time, huh? I'm trying. Okay, so I'm going to start with my largest one here, and I'm going to adhere this one, my white one, to it. Just because you know me, I like all those layers. Okay, so this is going to go onto there. Just leaving the smallest little edge or margin around it. Let's see. It's harder for me to see because it's on the dark. So I'm going to move that off and just position that just like that. So I just have a little bit of a margin. And then I'm going to do the same thing with this one. And just add that right in there. So as long as you cut them a little bit different, then they'll automatically come out a little different in size. So, which makes it super easy. You don't have to worry about, did I cut this one? You know, did I cut it at the right? As long as you cut them 1/8 or 1/4 of an inch smaller than each other, then you got it made. Okay, now, my next thing is I'm going to attach this right inside here. That's looking cool. Okay, and so I'm going to attach that to there. Now you can do this with tear and tape. I'm going to do it with tear and tape this time. Last time I did it with green glue, or maybe I did it with Stampin' Seal. Either way, it works no matter what. You just need something to attach it with, right? Okay. And you're going to put it on this little section here that you scored and created when you folded. Okay, so this is going to go right in here. I'm going to lay it in there. Whoops, let me pull off my tear and tape, my tear away papers. Press it down first so we get just the papers and not the tape. And come on. Okay. Now, I want to be sure that this is going to go that direction, actually, when it's done. But I'm going to lay it right here. Center it from top to bottom, so I'm looking at these 2 points. And then I'm just going to close it up, just like that. Really easy. No fussing trying to get it lined up or anything. And then it just comes out just like that. So it's kind of cool. It looks like an arrow. It does. It just kind of looks like an arrow in there. All right, so then let's get this thing finished up, huh? I'm thinking I want to stamp something. I want to stamp a greeting. Let's see, what stamp set did I grab? I have one sitting here on my desk that is the new Honeybee set. Let's make this a miss you card. No, let's not. Because it's not mounted. That's why. Oh, here, let's pull out Nature's Harvest. What's that got? We can make it a thank you card. How about that? These are all mounted. Yeah, let's make it a thank you card. Okay, so I'll grab a block. That's a lot of work for a thank you, huh? Okay, now I have die cut these from the Nature's Harvest, the dies that go with this. Yeah, they came from that. So my thought is I want to put these on the front. So maybe my thank you needs to be a greeting on there. Okay, let's put these together first. And we'll put them on the front. Got got a big blob there and not much there. Okay. I almost wish I'd cut that a little bit larger, but that's okay. All right, now this is going to go here, and so you're going to position it so that these two are showing, and you want to watch your edges too. So I am going to use, I'm debating here. I think I want to use dimensionals on this one. I did not use them on the other one, but I think that on this one I would like to use dimensionals. So let's do that. Like it doesn't have enough dimension, right? It has so much dimension to it already. And we're not going to put anything on this corner because that corner is going to hang out over here and we don't want to cover it up. So just make sure we have it on there right. Turn it this way. I want to get it so that it's not going off either edge. And straight. Okay, there we go. Okay, now I can't stamp the thank you. Oh, I was going to do the greeting, that's right. Okay, I'm good. Okay, so then I want to attach these. I was going to trim them, but I'm thinking I'll just leave them. What do you guys think? Should I just leave them? I think I will. I think I'll just bring them together right at the bottom and just attach them and put the thank you right across there. Oh, I'm loving this. I think this is pretty. Okay. Let's use, what do we want to use? A glue dot? Maybe on the bottoms of these. So, whoops. Let's try the other end of that. And I think I'll put them on here. Whoops, I want to come down lower. I want to watch the top and the bottom because these are pretty long. I'm going to pull those together. So I'm pulling them together to bring them into that glue dot instead of letting them go all over the place. So I should have pulled those in too. Okay, and then this one's going to go right up the center. And I don't think my glue dots stay fresh on this thing. Either that or I've got myself an old pack of glue dots here. They don't want to pick up. And when they do, I'm not sure how well they stick. Okay. All right. Okay. I think I need a bow. So let's get those out of here. And I'm just going to tie a bow here. Ouch. Almost got my finger right on screen. So do I want my bow there or do I want my bow over here? On the side, I think. And then we're going to put our thank you like that. So I'm going to run over and cut a piece for the thank you, and I'll be right back. Love the shape on this. This is really pretty. Okay, so I just thought, does thank you fit on there? It does. Okay, let me find my stamp pad. I've got so many papers here, it's crazy now. There he is, he's buried. Okay, and let's get a thank you on there. And I think we'll attach this with a, so what do you guys think? Should I go with the leaf on the, the bow on the left? The bow there. If I do the bow there, I put the thank you there, but the ribbon looks funny to me then. I think the bow needs to go on the left. So it looks like the ribbon continues on. Okay, I think that's what's going to happen. Let's find some fresh glue dots if we have some here. No, we don't. Okay, we'll grab one of these stale ones and just attach it to our bow. See, it won't pick up the ribbon where they normally do. That's why I'm thinking that they're stale. Okay, and then I'm going to attach this with dimensionals because I want it to straddle. And I think I'll do the small dimensionals. The little dimensionals are good because they go in those little places, but they're the same height as our regular dimensionals, which is really nice. So on this one, I just want to be able to have lots of room in between since I have all those branches in there. And just like that. And that'll help hold my branches too, won't it? There we go. Okay. Thanks, Diane. I'm glad you want the bow on the left, and Anne. Okay, good. Okay, I did good, huh? Okay, so the only thing left would be to stamp a greeting on the inside. If you wanted to write a note, you could add a piece of white cardstock here. If I did, I don't like this. This to me is like it's unfinished. And so if I was to add a piece of white cardstock here, I think I would cut it a little larger and I would tuck it right into here as well. So maybe I should have cut this whole thing a little bit smaller. There's an idea. I might have to play with that. And we could add some bling to this. I didn't pull any out.